Ladies and gentlemen, just a quick announcement before we start today's episode. I do have some upcoming tour dates, so you have a chance to come see me live doing stand-up comedy. You can come see me March 17th at Wiley's Comedy Club. Then, a week later, I'll be at Bricky's Comedy Club on March 24th. And then in April 21st, I'm at the Enon Winery. Tickets for that show goes on sale next month. You can get tickets for all other shows at reallydumbmedia.com.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Morning Woods podcast. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you guys for being here today in studio, live. I have two very special guests with me. I've been doing shows with these guys all weekend. I'm so glad that they came down to Dayton. Two guys from Louisville. These guys are big hitters. They're going to be doing some big stuff in comedy in the next couple of weeks, actually. So I hope that they talk about it with me today. But we have Will McKenzie and Brad Lanning. What's up, fellas?
What's up, Johnny? It's good to be here, man.
Dude, thanks for coming, man. What is up with you guys? How was the journey to Ohio?
It was easy, man. We took it slow. We left kind of early, about 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
You know, the GPS says it's like a 2.5 hour drive, but I mean, I drive like a little old man.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, we got here in 4 hours, I think.
Yeah, like next time we're leaving at noon.
Yeah.
I've just seen too many crashes on the side of the road. I'm just like, you know what?
I know it.
I mean, Tim Northern told me that when I first started doing comedy. He was like, just let it take how long it takes to get there.
Yeah, dude.
Just build it in.
Yeah. There's been times where I've been like on a rush to get somewhere and then I just bomb for 20 minutes. And I'm like, what? No one was here.
Yeah.
Like, first of all, they didn't even give me my $40. I don't know what the hell is going to... Like, yeah, that happens too, though. I think sometimes you just got to let yourself be in the moment and kind of just chill in it, right?
Yeah, I mean, just having, a couple hours to just decompress from driving and, just getting your bearings, like where's the club, where are we going, what time do we need to leave, let's try to get your set together. I mean, Will and I are both notorious procrastinators as far as like getting the sets together. It's just like, man, it's just how we do it.
Yeah.
I like to be rushed, though. I think I was just telling him, like, I like when I'm like getting to the club and I just get there maybe 15 minutes before the show, and then I'm like rushing. I don't know. It just feels like I have to. You have no option now. You have to do this.
No, I can relate to that. Yeah, I can relate to that. Diamonds make pressure. When I was in college, I would always write my papers and read all the material like a night or two before the exam. It's called crunching. Yeah. But like that being under pressure and just knowing that it's coming, I would just like somehow absorb it all and figure it out. And I think I'm good like that on stage too. Maybe in the same way that you are, but I feel like if there's a situation where I'm being challenged, I feel like I got to push a little bit harder, and that pressure that I'm nervous about beforehand, usually after the show, I'm like, well, that actually went pretty well. Right. I kind of when you push through it and try to figure out a way to fight around it, it does usually work in your favor.
Yeah. They say like when you are like studying for a test, it's best if whatever state that you're studying in, that's where you should take the test in. So, for example, if you were studying drunk, then you should take the test drunk. Yeah. Or like if you smoke if you smoke during when you're studying, you're supposed to be like or be high when you're taking the test. Yeah. That's how your body
put the bong away. Like, you want me to pass this thing or not?
That's how my whole life has been. That's how my whole life has been. People like don't recognize me. I like took my license picture after I smoked, and they're like, "Hey, that's not you. Are you sure?" I'm like, "Man, I kind of I got forced into it, so now I got to do it every day."
Yeah, I took it.
Looks at your picture. He's like, "Step out of the car." I'm okay right now. Though.
I take my driving test drunk because I was drunk when I was learning how to drive.
Yeah, the cops like get out of the car. I'm like, 1 second, I sneak down and do a shot, and he's like, "Oh, that's you. That's you. Go ahead. Have a nice day."
Jesus.
Oh, speaking of the DUI laws and stuff like that, Will told me yesterday that you guys are a little more lenient in Louisville because it's like a town where a lot of people drink, so it's kind of part of the culture.
It is bourbon country.
Yeah. Statistically, you guys have less DUIs than almost everybody in America, right?
Yeah, it's something.
Due to leniency, I'm just guessing.
That is what it is.
Maybe it's great drivers. Maybe there's great drivers in Louisville.
No. There's shitty drivers, but that's what I was telling him. I saw an article. I don't know. It was like Louisville had some of the best drivers in the country, like rated.
Really?
And it was because they added a lot of factors, and one of them was that there wasn't a lot of DUIs. But there's not a lot of DUIs because
The cops are cool down there.
Yeah, because they're cool, dude.
Because they're cool.
Because they're sick.
Shout out to Louisville police.
Yeah, dude.
I think if you're leaving the Kentucky Derby, you pretty much have to drive through somebody's house to get pulled over.
That's how bad. Because there's so many people and there's so few police.
You don't want to make waves. Just just don't bang into each other and try to get home safe.
I got friends who I've never seen not drunk. You know?
Wow.
Like I don't know what they like sober.
It's just part of the culture. After 5 p.m., they
Yeah.
that's what you do.
Yeah.
Bourbon is definitely a fixture in many households.
Dude.
Many marriages.
Dude,
Hotel room last night was a fixture.
I was doing a show at the Caravan and I shouted out something. I was like, they were yelling at me and I was like, you guys are all drunk on whiskey. And they were like, they got mad at me. They were like, no, it's bourbon.
Yeah.
They were like, do not say that.
There's
I was
a
like, what
difference.
is the difference? It's Kentucky, right?
One of
Kentucky
the difference,
whiskey.
Yeah, one of the differences, bourbon. I think it has to be produced in Kentucky, right?
In a barrel, right?
I think that was like I don't know, just kind of misinterpreted for years that Kentucky was the only place that could have bourbon, but bourbon can be made anywhere.
What's the
it's
process?
a matter of the mixture.
You don't want bourbon from Arizona,
like
man.
Sour mash. It's like a combination. It has to be like
Arizona bourbon.
51% corn or something. I'm not sure what it is.
You got to be a man to drink it.
I just drink it. I have any plans to make a mountain
You drank it. Your dad drank it. His dad drank it. You guys have been drinking it for a long time.
Yes,
it's kind of
we've all stayed within about the same 3 brands.
Yeah, it's a rite of passage at this point, to be honest.
If there's one thing the Lannings know is a good value in a bourbon.
Mm-hmm. I love that.
I mean, I come from a long line of cheap old dudes. So,
Yeah, dude. Back in the day, I used to drink this stuff called Kentucky Gentleman.
Oh.
You guys know that?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I mean, that's not one that.
What a poorly
I didn't
named
mean to
drink.
disrespect you. I was just bringing it up. Okay?
Yeah.
No, that's not.
I wasn't accusing you of having it on your shelf.
No, you better have some Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
Oh, something, dude. I remember a lot of bad nights. You know,
Yeah.
something. Kentucky Gentleman.
It's not adequately named either because you're not a gentleman after you drink too much of that.
Yeah.
No,
Should have been called Tasmanian Devil.
Kentucky Tantrum.
Yeah, Kentucky Tantrum, exactly, dude. Yeah, drink a 4 Loko and a couple shots of Kentucky Gentleman, dude. Find yourself in the police station.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
They're kicking you out of the gentleman's club.
Yeah,
That's how we do it.
100% they're kicking you out of the gentleman's club. You are no gentleman when you're on Kentucky Gentleman, dude. That's a rule of thumb right there. Yeah, man, this is cool. I'm glad you guys came down, man. What are some of the differences you guys notice? I mean, is this pretty much the same thing as Kentucky, as Louisville, or like, are the people different up here? What's some of the stuff you guys noticed being in Ohio, still kind of throwing you off a little bit?
We noticed a lot of tension last night.
Yeah. I don't.
Not in the club. The club is all love. It was beautiful.
What happened after? What happened after the show?
We were at a bar.
I don't want to give the name of it.
That's
We're not gonna give. I don't even remember the name of it. So
you can say.
I don't. I really don't remember the name of it.
You guys were in the Oregon though.
It was in the Oregon district, and we were getting there. Yeah, they had TVs. We were looking for TVs to watch the UK game, and this large group of black people. There was a large group of black people that were eating and drinking, and we walked in, and then all of a sudden, I think the staff said that somebody didn't pay their bill.
Right. There was like a check missing.
Yeah. And then they were like, no, we fucking paid our bill. And it turned up immediately. It went from 0 to 100.
Yeah.
And they were like, you racist bitch.
Oh, shit.
I was like, damn.
And I was like the only other black dude in the establishment. Everybody else was white. So I didn't know if I had an obligation to get pissed too.
They were like, "Are you with them? He's just late.
And
we're gonna see him. We're gonna go ahead and seat him. This is the missing check."
Yeah,
right
And we were really trying to get the UK game on for Will. They're playing Vanderbilt in the SEC tournament.
Yeah.
And, we asked a member of the staff, and he's like, "I'll be right with you, sir." The next thing we know, the entire staff of the restaurant is over there dealing with these folks. There's some people madder than others. It was one of the I would say matriarchs of the group. She was like, "Hey, everybody cool out. We're gonna figure out what happened."
Yeah. And then it just de-escalated so quickly.
Quick.
It was she was like, "Oh yeah, we'll figure this out." And then it was good.
That's good.
They had 5 tables.
Yeah.
You know, there was probably.
I mean, it was full blown yelling. It was like
yeah.
It took up the whole restaurant or bar or whatever with this altercation.
I mean, when you have that many people and you're short-staffed, there's going to be mistakes made. That's the kind of stuff that happens. But yeah, they were probably just mad because they didn't tip. For being honest,
they didn't tip. Johnny, yeah. The views of this podcast are expressed by Johnny Woods.
This podcast was made in March.
Yeah, if you did it last month, that's disrespectful.
There's no way I would do it in February. No way. Out of respect. I love my people.
We were trying to get that UAK game on, and like the staff, I mean, what were they, 20 minutes before they even came back?
Yeah, they were like,
try to get the game back on?
Yeah, they were like decompressing from this argument. And I was like,
all like in the back of the kitchen talking. There's like no staff even on the floor at all. And like we're sitting there watching a game we don't want to watch, and then the guy brings the remote out and he's like cycling through the SEC networks. That's what the game's on. And they didn't have it available, but they had the number where you could call and order it. And
wow.
I was like, man, I think you should throw a fit.
You racist.
We're ever gonna get them to order a new channel.
He said,
"This might be the moment. Like you gotta seize the day."
This is it.
The waiter was like, yeah, they couldn't remember my name, so they called me White Boy. And I was like, that's a term of endearment in the black community.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Dating etiquette. That's what we do here. I was a white boy for some time growing up.
In Kentucky, I mean, I was one of the white boys. I could go to one of my friends' house. His sister would be like, Steven, your white friend's here.
So in Kentucky, you guys just don't see a lot of like public outrage, or like what was you know what I mean? It was just kind of threw you off a little bit.
No, I think it was just interesting. I mean, I've seen stuff like that.
Time.
Yeah, I don't know if there's Dayton to me is a little bit different than like other cities in Ohio, I think.
I mean, it's like damp, dark, and lonely.
Yes, it is. No, it is though. I've always Dayton.
We had a great time here. Don't come back to Wiley's.
The other people are cool. It's just like Wiley's is great.
Yeah, that's the best part.
But when you go into Dayton, it's just like,
it's rough. If you don't know people, you're just sitting in your hotel and yeah.
Now Cincinnati is. I think that's where they make white people in Cincinnati. Yeah. That's like
with mustaches.
Yeah, that's what they distribute. Like
they distribute the flannels, the mustaches,
everything,
the gauge earrings, the Van shoes. The beards. They all do come from Cincinnati. That's true. I still have my receipt for all my stuff. I got my mustache around here somewhere. I don't know where it's at right now, but Cincy's a good city too, dude. This is I like being from here because like Dayton is like right in the middle. I don't like being like living here sometimes is rough because we are like not as populated as other cities, so we don't get as many rotating crowds and stuff like that. We have less clubs, less shows, so we have to get out, but like forcing you to get out of your comfort zone and like go to all these other Cincy, Columbus, Indianapolis, Louisville. There's all these places within a few hours of here,
right?
So this is a good jumping off point. And like over my 5 years in this game, I've seen several of my friends start off here, and then the good guys usually will take off and go to like Texas, or they go to New York or LA. So I've seen it birth some really amazing people. So I'm happy in that way. We have Chappelle here, which doesn't help us, but it's cool saying that. It's real fucking cool being like, well, the GOAT lives down the street.
The GOAT, baby.
Not that he's an authority on any of these fucking open micers or like feature acts around the club, but it is cool having that here. And then he actually just bought Wiley's building.
Yeah, we were talking about that.
What's he doing? What's he going to do with it?
We don't know exactly, and I think there's a lot of speculation right now. Everyone's just still happy that the current staff is working there and booking local comics, and we just want to still be part of the infrastructure. And we're hoping that next year that stays the same. But we don't know if they have a bad year. You don't know what's going to happen, so it's always up in the air. But I do know that he wants to keep Wiley's as it is because he's going to open his own club in Yellow Springs too.
Ooh.
But this is just another kind of venue for him. He just had Matt Rife come here. Do you guys know who that is?
Yeah.
He was doing the Funny Bone. Then he came to Wiley's because Dave wanted to see him. So
and Dave came to Wiley's to see him?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Dave Chappelle might be coming to our show tonight.
Actually met
Great
Chappelle at Wiley's like a month ago for the first time. I didn't meet him, but like he just like walked in the room, and me and the other comics were like, it was like starstruck. We were like,
crazy. Like when he's in the room, it's like it's crazy.
That's the GOAT, man.
I had a camera. I had my camera on. I took it off and put it on the counter. I was like, I don't even want to. You know what I mean? And the manager, Eric, she was even like, hey, no pictures tonight just because Dave's here. And I was like, I'll fucking throw this thing on the street. I don't give a just, you know what I mean? Like, I would never want to make him feel uncomfortable or anything. But yeah, we were there for like 20 minutes, And next thing you know, we just smell weed in the green room, just like burning. Yeah, you can just smell it coming under the door. Yeah. Like they were 100% in there. But he came for Tony Woods, so he came to watch Tony.
How I met him. I was opening for Tony Woods in Cincinnati at Go Bananas. And he came to see Tony.
Dude, I'll tell you guys an embarrassing story about the first time I met Chappelle and the first time I met Tony Woods. Two of my heroes, actually. Two people I really look up to in the game. So I'm at Wiley's, and I'm watching Tony Woods. It's first show Friday night. And after the show, I was like, hey, man, I'm a photographer. I'm a comic, too. But I was like, you think I can just pull up tomorrow and just take some pics of you on stage, like, for free and just, like, post them on social media? And he was like, oh, you're a photographer? It was the end of the show, so he was actually kind of plastered. And I didn't realize he was, like, maybe a little drunk and high at the time. So he was like, you're a photographer? He was like, hey, man, Chappelle's mom is here. Why don't you get a picture with us? And I didn't have my camera, but I was too scared to tell him I didn't have my camera. So I just pull out my iPhone and take a picture of Tony Woods and Chappelle's mom. And then they just start talking for like 20 minutes and just like turn away from me. So I'm just standing there awkwardly, bro. And I just like ease out of the room. And then I come back the next night to take the pictures. Chappelle shows up and Erica's like, hey, we can't take pictures tonight. So it was just like a whole, like, it was cool to meet him and everything. But it was like, for me, I was like, shit, I just felt like super embarrassed that I had to take that picture, dude. Yeah. I was like so awkward.
Like you tell the camera, like, you should have been here last night.
Yeah, dude. You're a photographer? He's like, follow me. And I was like, not right now. I was like, I want to come tomorrow. He's like, no, come on right now. I really want to get a picture with Dave's mom. And I was like, dude, I feel like a piece of shit right now. Like, this is bad. But
I think I got a disposable camera in my car. I can go get that.
My camera was in my car. It was like 50 feet from the building, but I just couldn't. You know, I was starstruck. Yeah. Dude, yeah, I couldn't pull away from him. He, like, it's Tony Woods. Yeah. I was like, whatever you want, dude. Yeah, I'll take a picture with my iPhone.
He's a good guy to work with, too. Like, I love, like, his speed on stage. Like,
yes.
He's never in a rush, man.
Yes, dude.
He's never in a rush.
Not even getting on stage.
Nah, he's comfortable in the moment. And I think when I worked with him, like, I was still kind of, I felt like I was, like, infected by the speed of the open mics and, like, trying to get as much material out as I could.
Yes.
As fast. And, I mean, just naturally as a human being, like, I don't do very many things fast at all. Like, I'm fairly deliberate. Like, driving here, I mean, I drive like an old man. I mean,
yeah.
Like
you follow suit.
But I had so much speed in my cadence, and watching Tony, I was like, man, it can be done, you know, without rushing your way through it. So he's a great example of someone to watch that does it their own way, you know.
Yeah. Same for me. I think that, like, stretching your stuff out and, like, taking more time to care about and pull tags and pull stuff out of the current stuff that you have matters more than trying to rush to the next joke and just get all your stuff over with. Like, I've come to terms with the fact that, like, not every show I'm going to do the show the same, and I'm going to get every punchline. I'm going to get it's going to be a little bit different. There are some variables, some things that we forget along the way and little stuff like that. And I think that's fine because every show is different. Like, and once you get comfortable with that, it's just like, I think it's part of the mix.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like, there's some nights where you just don't know, like, what's going to hit hard or when things are going to start clicking or.
You could have shows the same night or even back-to-back nights. Like, same set will bomb and then next night kills.
Like, I know I did it the same way.
Yeah.
I was like, well, maybe they weren't the same people.
They weren't exactly, or they didn't trust you yet.
Yeah.
I have a lot of dicey stuff, and I come out swinging right out of the gate, dude.
No, Will's like, man, Johnny's dark, man.
Yeah, dude. No, that's a dating thing, though. Dating comics are dark, man.
We are, dude. My hands are sweating just thinking about it.
Throughout the community.
Yeah, pretty much, dude. It's like dating comics are like the worst of the worst fucking stuff. But it's like there's at one point, especially when I was
mics are great.
Yeah,
dude. When I was coming up in Dayton, what this guy Travis Charles kind of back in like 5 years ago, he started this thing called the most offensive show on earth.
Right.
So one of the
remember seeing stuff about
he's doing it at Wiley's next week actually. So he's had it going, and then he's actually done it now he's doing it at different Funny Bones across the country. He's did it at Sandman's in West Virginia. So he is actually starting to pick up momentum 4 or 5 years later, which is awesome for him. But when he was first building this show and thinking of the idea, he booked me on one of the first ones, and I was like a year or two into comedy. So one of the first real shows I had to like write for was this thing, and some of the best stuff that I came up with was trying to be offensive, and it ended up showing me a way to like dance around things. And so I feel like I'm not always good at it, but I'm pretty good at like getting you on my side and saying one thing and then flipping it on its head with this dark bullshit. And I'm trying to make you agree with it, but I know that you don't want to and I don't want to, and that's the joke. It's like that awkward exchange between us. I don't know. I have my own style, I guess. You know, I like it.
Like I remember I went to, it was a Sunday show in Dayton at Wiley's, which is always a great show.
Yeah.
And like all the Dayton comics would go there, and I just remember the whole night I was like, Jesus, that's dark. Like, God.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You guys all right? Everybody all right?
Yeah, dude.
Everybody all right?
Dude, it's depressing. I don't know what it is, bro. And then when we go to other cities, though, like people show you respect. Like when you, I don't know. It's almost like we're like the Boston comics, and when we go to bigger cities, of the Midwest, we're like the New Jersey of the Midwest or something like that. We're like, fucking real dirt bags. We're always trying to hurt someone's feelings because we don't have any, stuff like that. I don't know. It just is a dark place, dude.
A lot of talent in Dayton, though.
A lot of talented people, bro. So like I said, so many of my friends I've seen take off from here, and then even now some of my peers that I've like kind of came up with are really rising stars. So I'm really blessed to be able to get on the stages with some of these people and to be able to work Wiley's and as weird as the scene is and as hard as it is to navigate sometimes, it's still really cool, man. I love it. Fucking comedy's crazy, dude.
And Wiley's, I mean, just the whole vibe of that place. The fact that it's like the oldest. You said on stage the oldest comedy club in the Midwest.
In the Midwest, dude.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost 100 years old.
I knew it was very old, but like you can just feel it in the bones of the place when you
yes.
walk in. Like
That's what Will and I were talking about last night. When you walk into a place like Wiley's or even the Caravan, it's like walking into like a museum or like a piece of history from the 90s. Yeah. You get to just 80s. The 80s, like late 80s, early 90s. That was the heyday. Mm-hmm. And now it's kind of like another boom, right? We're like getting into this other place where, especially in Texas and like fucking LA, New York, you're seeing these huge meccas kind of be built up. And
explosions of like all different types of comics doing.
Dude, you're talking about $500 seats to go see Joe Rogan's shows too.
That's crazy town.
I got online to try to look, and it was like $4.95 for a ticket.
Really?
And then they sold out immediately.
Right,
because there's a bigger market in Texas, right? There's just a bigger money down there. There's bigger stuff. We don't realize it because we're not there or whatever, but I think that...
I'm not.
Right. I just think that... Right. I don't have $500 to buy a Joe Rogan ticket. But what I am going to do, though, I'm going down in June, and I'm going to go do Kill Tony. We're going to go to Austin for a week.
Really? Awesome.
Yeah, we're going to try to get on. We don't know. But then we're going to do the Creek in the Cave shows. They have like a show every night there. So, yeah. I'm gonna go down, try to get seen, dude. Try to do some of my dark stuff on Kill Tony.
Yeah, they'll like that.
They'll like it down there.
No, for sure.
That's what a lot of my friends tell me too. They're like, dude, your stuff would kill in Texas. Like that's like, because they're not very liberal.
What?
Not
Texas?
No, they are liberal. I don't know how to say it. I don't know anything about
Austin.
politics.
I feel like it's pretty liberal, but maybe the surrounding areas.
It's probably got to be a serious blend of folks with different.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah. Maybe it's just a scene where they just trust comedy and they just let you get away with more stuff down there. You know what I mean? Because those guys, like, dude, they gotta be talking some shit. I would love to see one of those shows right now, dude. They're not being televised or anything. Imagine what they're talking like down there.
Yeah, they can probably go pretty hard.
Probably go pretty hard, dude. Yeah, I'm excited. I just want to see it, man. I've never been to Texas, so I have Austin as my screensaver on my computer. That's how like serious I am. I really want to move down.
Oh, if it's your screensaver, yeah, you're serious.
Take my kids.
You got a vision board.
Yeah, dude, I do. I have a vision board. I'm coming to Austin, baby. I don't know that I want to move there eventually. I think that's where I'm gonna end up, just because that's like kind of like the mecca right now. I'm not gonna move my kids to LA. There's no way I would ever do that, or even like Chicago or.
Yeah. I mean, with people flocking out of LA, like just gangbusters.
Especially in our sphere and like with the entertainment industry.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah, and that used to be what it was for.
I wouldn't take my family there.
No way, dude. Not happening. I won't even take them to visit California. I'm just not. I'm not going. Literally.
I cut it off our map.
You can see, you can see the West Coast someday when we're flying over to go to Alaska or something. Like that's it. I'm not going out there, dude. It's too much, dude. I don't want them to be exposed to like, not yet at least, to like all the homelessness and just It's just too much going on, dude. There's like a lot of gang violence. There's like hardly any police out there, so people are constantly getting mugged. And it's kind of like the thing we were talking about earlier, where like there's a certain level of like crime that the police don't care about. And out there's so many people that's like murder and robbery. They're like, dude, we have other bigger stuff to worry about right now. We can't really deal with this murder. They're like, dude, my wife's been shot. They're like, unfortunately, it's going to be 3 hours until the police can get there.
It's like waiting for AAA.
Yeah, dude. Can you change your own tire?
Bleeding. Like she's bleeding.
Sir, please put pressure on the wound. Like, they have to train you to be a paramedic over the phone.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I do want to see it though myself. Have either of you guys been to LA?
Yeah, I've been to LA.
You liked it?
Yeah. LA, I was there when I was 16. And I went to go see Kobe play when I was 16. I saw 2 games of Kobe play. And then I did like a tour of the city. And it was good, man. I liked LA.
That was 15 years ago.
That's true.
Things are different.
That's true. But it's like, it seems like a dream world. It doesn't seem real.
Yeah.
You know?
Because it's so beautiful and
yeah.
stuff.
And I was with my godmother, and we stayed in Chinatown. And because of the sleep schedule, she was like, hey, you want to go explore Chinatown? It was late at night.
Must have smelled amazing.
Yeah, she was like, do you want to explore Chinatown? And I was like, I don't know much, but I know that there's like Asian gangs, and I don't know how they're going to feel about us just roaming around these streets at 2 a.m. Yeah.
You're just strangers.
See people
in the
floating
night,
on the
walking
rooftops
through
and shit.
Yeah,
Like
like,
Trouble in Little China.
like ninjas
Yeah.
just come out and mug you and your grandma.
Yeah, that's what I was scared of.
Godmother.
Guys with magic
Like,
powers.
it's like it's gonna,
lightning
yeah.
out of their hands.
There's gonna be a
Smoke
Yu-Gi-Oh duel here.
He's like, give
tomorrow.
me your bag full of rice. You're like, what the fuck are you? Is this Tenchu? What are you talking about right now? That's a dated reference. Brad knew. He's like, I had a PS1. I don't know. Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, I do want to go see it though. I think that would be really cool. Man, I just saw someone on Instagram the other day. They posted a video of them driving through the mountains in Wyoming. Holy shit, dude. I didn't even know places like that existed in America, bro.
Jackson Hole, Wyoming.
Something like that. It was just beautiful, dude. Just water and mountains for miles, snowy trees, but down on the bottom it was like warm, and you can obviously be there, but then you can see these snow peak mountains. I want to go to a place like that, dude.
A lot of those states that you never really actually want to visit, or that you never would live in.
Yeah.
Those are like the most, like West Virginia.
Yeah.
A beautiful state.
Yeah, driving through there is very peaceful. It seems like there's no towns.
Just the mount, like you just go there in the mountains. It's a beautiful state.
There's so many pretty streams.
Yeah.
Running
Maine is like that too. Maine is a
I'm
really
like-
pretty
I'm a
state.
fisherman, so man, I almost wreck my car every time I'm in West Virginia or North Carolina or even Tennessee, like looking over.
Oh, just trying to look
see
at
the
the
water
yeah.
down there, like. Looks like good fun.
He has John Denver on loop when he goes into West Virginia.
Dude, I love me some outdoor stuff, man. I love hiking and just getting out there. It's the best, dude. Like something about nature, breathing in all those trees and all that extra oxygen, dude. It makes you feel special, bro.
Yeah.
Like you're connected to something deeper. And
Nah.
you know, you get away from your phone and
Fuck
your
that.
job and all that stuff for a while.
No, man. I like the inner city. I like hearing people scream. I like blood curdling screams.
People
and
can't hear you scream in the
mugging
woods,
and
right?
shit. Yeah.
I want to
Yeah.
see deer. I want to see rats.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't feel home unless I see roaches when I tell him, come on, man.
Yeah, dude. He's like, y'all don't have rats in this woods?
Yeah, dude.
What kind of fucking woods is this?
I love all that stuff. Like I love stream fishing is like my favorite. I mean, I love like wading a stream, fishing for smallmouth bass. That's like one of my favorite things to do.
Yeah, I've never really fished in a stream or anything like that. Like, you mean like fly fishing?
I
Like
have
actually-
fish, but
Or just
I don't-
standing in the creek with the waders on?
standing in the creek and fishing, usually a spinning rod. But I can fly fish, but when I do get the opportunity to fish, I'm not very good at fly fishing. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of take the easy way out and take the spinning rod, and do it that way. I'm just not as good at fly fishing.
Yeah, man. I don't know. Do you like catch them and then you cook the fish and eat it too?
On
You do
occasion.
all of it? Yeah, you
On
don't.
occasion.
You catch and release essentially.
Yeah.
Is there laws against that kind of thing? I don't even.
Well, I mean, you have to make sure that your fish is big enough to keep, or like within, if there's a slot limit, like where it can't be, it has to be like basically in between, 10 inches and 15. Anything over 15, you got to throw back. Anything under 10, you got to throw back. Like sometimes there's slots. Sometimes it's just, it has to be at least this big, and then you
Yeah.
can keep it.
Now I heard that's because they don't repopulate as fast as they used to because we overfish now. Like we are overfishing the ocean like crazy. Have you guys heard this?
Oh, yeah.
They say within 10 years we could run out of fish.
Well, didn't like all the crab up in the Bering Sea like disappear this year?
We ate it.
There's no crab.
No, it's in the can at the Kroger. That's where all the crab is, dude.
Yeah, it seems incredibly odd for the faucet just to turn off like that.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, it's like, hey, you caught them all. But we had a pretty good year last year, though. There was plenty of them, you know?
Pretty good year.
Yeah. Like the guys on Deadliest Catch are all like working at Denny's now.
Now they have to cook the crab cakes.
Yeah, they're not fighting whales anymore. They're fighting
their wives.
Short cooks. Yes, short order cooks and shit.
Oh, dude, that's crazy.
I got a French toast coming up. She's a big one.
Party of 20. That's a big storm coming, boys. We better buckle down.
Doing the dishes like a longshoreman, just like pulling the rack out and slamming the dishes down. It's like, damn, you gotta stop breaking shit, yo.
Sink water on them.
I wish I knew more like sailor language so I could riff right now. I don't know what to say.
The other people in the restaurant are like, who's the guy always in the rain suit? It's like rubber gloves pulled up to his elbow.
Full fisherman gear, dude.
Smells like bait. Yeah. And I can't get the bait stink off.
Like, that's our head chef, actually.
He had a cast a hairnet on him.
He brings his own fish. We can't. He won't leave. Actually, he lives in the freezer.
He doesn't work here anymore.
He doesn't even work here. He just shows up every.
That's funny.
We didn't even hire that guy. He just likes to work.
He loves fish.
This is like a nightmare come true. Like the crabs. They should make a movie about the crabs called "I Know What You Did Last Summer."
Yeah.
You died. And then this is the ghost of crabs just haunting fishermen. All right, this is a bad riff. You know what?
Well, you know,
Too
we
deep.
push too far sometimes. You just gotta reel it back in.
Just reel it back in. All right.
Okay.
All right. All right.
Yeah.
And that's why he's the headliner. All right. And that's
Brad
why
Lanning, Wiley's Comedy Club.
Wiley's Comedy Club. You guys make sure to come see him next time he's in town. Both of these guys. You guys got some big stuff coming up. You're going to be opening for Josh Blue or featuring for Josh Blue coming up.
Yeah, next week in Lexington.
Yeah.
I'll be back there at Comedy Off Broadway. It's Comedy Off Broadway. It's been a great place for me. I mean, it's like my home away from home. I mean, my home club is in Louisville at the Comedy Caravan, but over the years I've gotten to work just so many great shows there at Comedy Off Broadway.
That's great.
Next week is going to be like that. There's a lot. Like most shows are sold out if they're not all sold out already.
I've never been down, but I see
Check the website.
I see Lee Kimbrough playing there a lot, and he's a very funny guy from Cincy. You guys probably know.
Oh
him.
yeah.
He posted. He's posted about it 2 or 3 times in the last year or so where he's played comedy off Broadway.
He's been opening for Theo Von there.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
dude.
Lee Kimbrough's
Dude's a
very
killer.
funny. Yeah, he's
Dude
very
is a
funny.
Killer. And you, Will, you're actually going to be opening for Big J Oakerson, dude.
Yeah.
Tell me
week.
a little bit about the story. We talked about it last night, but this actually is pretty big for you, right?
Yeah, this is like it's so Big J Oakerson is the reason why I started comedy because, long story short, before I started comedy, I went to a show that he was the headliner, and he crushed it. And then after the show, I got to talk to him, and I was telling him I was thinking about starting comedy. And he was like, you should just do it. Like, he was so sure and so confident that I should just do it. And, like, what's the worst that could happen? That it made me confident of trying it. And so that next week, I went to my first open mic, which is at the Bargetown. It was called a place called the Bargetown. And I did my first open mic there. And then I told myself, I was like, man, one day I think it would be cool if I could just, like, on my bucket list would be to open for Big J or work with Big J at some point.
Checking a box next week.
Yeah,
dude.
like there's like a few comedians that I would like love to work with, and he's one of them for sure.
Dude, I'm so happy for you, bro. You
Yeah,
definitely deserve it. You're a very funny guy, and I know over the last probably year or so, I think I met you at like the mics in Louisville, maybe last year or something like that.
Yeah.
And a lot of people's talked about you then, like, but now even more so. The more I see you get on stage, dude, you're getting so much funnier. So you absolutely deserve it. It's not like it's not coming out of nowhere.
Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I've seen it for years.
Yeah.
You're doing great, man. I'm so proud of you, bro.
Seriously,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah. Brad's been bringing me on the road for I don't know how many years now.
I mean, before all the lockdowns and everything.
Yeah.
And we've done a lot of shows together. Had some fun memories.
Oh yeah.
Shit that didn't go right. And,
But it's cool though, just to
things
see
went right.
over time. It's cool to see myself. I feel like I have grown a lot. Like even when I think about all the old shows that we did and those things, I feel like I've grown a lot, and then I see how much further that I have to go. But it's like, I feel more confident about that I can continue to grow, because I'm like, I remember, even a short time ago, I was like I look at those old sets and it's,
well, I think I've put you in a lot of awkward spots, so
that's a good thing though.
You gotta get tough.
Yeah.
Get tough.
You do, dude.
Yeah.
It's good to have a mentor too, and have some like an older comic who's been doing this for a while. Bring you on the road.
Much older.
Show you the 10 times your age, at least 3 times your age.
I'm so young. I'm so young. I'm so young that Brad's young. That's how, and he's a lot older.
Comic brings you on stage. But yeah, it's nice to have that, man, because there's no like ropes course, or like there's no like books to this. There's no like
Right.
I don't know. There's no tutorial to look up online. I tried, trust me, for years. And you just have to make friends, and you have to like, you have to make friends, and you have to be funny, dude. You have to actually be funny. That's part of it.
Yeah, do your job. Don't be an asshole.
Yes,
and,
yes. Be respectful of the club.
The best thing is experience, I think. It's just experience, and then, like you said, having people in your corner that have experience and that are veterans. You can say, hey, try this, or don't try this, or, whatever. So
like
those
see
two things.
In you.
Yeah, like you said, you can't look it up. It's like, I had to do shows and bomb, and then figure out why I bombed, kind of thing. And
those are the tough ones too, like watching your tape back when you eat shit. I almost deleted my set last night, and I was like, I don't think so. I'm going to see where that shooter joke went wrong. Man, why didn't they like that? So I was dressed nice, and they didn't expect me to say it. They were like, who is this guy? They were like, he doesn't even work here.
Right after the bit about my baby.
Yeah, dude. It's crazy. It's crazy. They should have put the two together. It's like, it's my loss, not yours. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you got to learn, though. It's also different, too, switching from feature to host. You got to dial it back. You got to rewrite your stuff a little bit. You got to try to be a little more friendly. It's not like, and Will said this to me last night, and it made a lot of sense, and it made me take a lot of pressure off myself. When you're hosting, you're not trying to kill. That's not what you're there for. You're there to get the crowd riled up, excited for the feature act, get them excited for the headliner, let them know what's coming up, tell them to get the fuck out at the end. Like, that is your job. That is it. You have five things to do, and one of them is to make the crowd laugh, right? It's not, and that's why you see a lot of guys that aren't great on stage, like aren't hilarious, but they have a decent act. You see them get a lot of hosting work. Because also, people don't want to follow like a hilarious. It's hard to follow a hilarious person. I hear a lot of horror stories about like super funny comics.
Well, that's why I bring Will. So.
Yeah, no, the smart. Yeah. See, look, the
He's
smart
like,
comics.
I got to work today.
Look, the smart comics. They want the show to be better, but some people I don't know who's advising them. I don't know how this goes on, but I had a comic tell me one time, like I had So I was doing a feature weekend. I won't say where, but I had bombed the first show. I did not do good, and the headliner crushed. Then the Friday show came, and I crushed the first show and the second show. And both shows, the headliner bombed. Yeah. And so afterwards, the headliner was like, "Hey, why don't you just not do that again tomorrow night?" And I was like, what's that?
Being serious?
I was like, what's that? And they were like, why don't you just dial it back a little bit, kind of like you did on Thursday? And I was like, I don't think that's really fair to say. And they were like, well, hey, I just don't think I'm going to do as well if you bring that material. So why don't you just like kind of dial it back? And I've heard other comics had people say, like I have a friend, I won't say who, had a comic when they were working in Cincinnati at Go Bananas. They were featuring. And they were like, hey, don't do any crowd work. And that's like what my friend is known for. That's like what this guy, I'll tell you guys after who it is. And they're like, don't do any crowd work. And they were like, what? He was like, why? Like, why can't I? He was like, no, absolutely not. So then he didn't do crowd work and he killed. And he was like, hey, I don't want you to do those bits when you come back.
Right, what can I say?
It's horrible, dude. Like, some people are just like, they're just non-professional about it. And they just don't want you going up there taking their shine. Like, a lot of comics don't want you saying the F word before them either.
Yeah.
That's,
I mean, that when I was coming up, I mean, that was like, just kind of understood. I mean, that was like almost like a hard and fast rule. Like when I started in 2004, and that was sort of an understood thing. Like I tried not to do that. Like when I was hosting, like first starting out hosting, and And also the crowd work thing, like when I was hosting and featuring a lot, like my sort of default mode was don't open that box. If the headliner wants to open that box, let him do it. But as I go on, headlining more shows, if the people in front of me, if they open up the crowd, like if you're not able to be in that moment and go with that wave, if it happens, then that's kind of on you.
Yeah.
It's like you should be able to do this. I mean, I guess I get like if someone's like preparing for a special or something like that, and like, man, I really got to try to iron these words out or whatever.
That makes sense.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
If you really
personal thing that they're working on, like
right.
whatever they
is it
they
29?
do.
It's been past 29. I forgot to set it. I forgot to set it.
How long passed?
100%. Oh, probably a lot. It's a lot, actually.
A lot, actually?
Yeah, I looked at it because I was like, damn, it should have went off. And then
it was like 10 minutes over. Okay, those cameras haven't even been on for like 10 minutes, so it's just my phone right now. Those cameras only record for 30, so we're audio only right now. But that's all right. We really appreciate you guys for watching the Morning Woods podcast. Thanks so much. Brad and Will, thank you guys for being here. Yeah. I looking forward to working with you guys tonight.
Yeah, man. It's really a shame because I thought I was looking my best the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, you're looking good.
Yeah, dude.
Man.
For the first 30 minutes, though, you guys are very regal.
Yeah, you're looking really good at the end.
I got more handsome as the time went on.
Yeah,
100%. For the last like 9-10 minutes, you've been gorgeous. Well,
good looking man.
Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you subscribe to this podcast. Go follow Will McKenzie online and go follow Brad Lanning online. You guys can find them at the Will Dill. Is that what it is on Instagram? And then Brad at Brad Lanning.
Brad Lanning. I'm not sure what the Instagram words are.
Go to patreon.com/Johnny Woods Comedy. Also go to reallydumbmedia.com. You guys listen to the podcast. You guys can look at other stuff on there. Book me